All replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself are limited to the current and available material, but the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you, the client. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information changes frequently, and it is recommended that you, the individual, will consult another physician, another specialist, and or religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness. Please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I... Welcome to Counsel today with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. We are on part 2 of our week 1, which is Love Defined. I'm going to be talking about love all month long, along with some Black history, throwing that in there as well. But welcome. The first week is come and gone Sunday, Monday nights from 9 to 9:30. So we're on part 2 of Love Defined. I'm so glad to have you on tonight. Excuse me, I'm working a couple of different things at one time, so I'm going to be looking down and looking around. But welcome to Counsel Day with Shanrae. I am Shanrae. So this is a 30-minute segment. It goes by very, very quickly, and we're going to go on and get started. We did our website disclaimer. Let me move this along. So I am a degreed counselor, and I acquired my degrees from Ashford University. So I'm going to go and read my bio very quickly. I'm a degree counselor. As I said, my degrees are in psychology and organizational management. My great passion is bringing healing to people who have been through traumatic, stressful experiences. And we know that it's not uncommon for people's lives that seem like it's unraveling when they're experiencing stress and trauma. But I help clients such as children and families and adults to find their healthy perceptions of themselves and to help them strengthen their relationships so that they can know themselves as peaceful, complete, whole, and safe. So I am a Christian counselor. And that and here's my bio again. Let me pass that on. So I want to open this up and show you the scripture that I chose for this month that to correlate with what I'm teaching on. All right, and let me go back. So it comes from, First Peter chapter 4 verses 8, and this is the NIV version, and it says, above all, love each other deeply. Okay, because love covers a multitude of sins. I also chose 3 separate definitions of love that really stood out to me, and I'm going to show it to you real quick, and let me bring it back in. So the first one is love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Number 2, love is a great interest and pleasure in something, which is a noun. Number 3, love is to feel a deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone, and that's a verb. Now, before I get started, those of you all that are not familiar with my platform, this is an open platform. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I will pause and answer them to my best ability. If you want to share some life scenarios, feel free to do that as well. I will pause and I will highlight that. So we're going to go on and get started. The key points that I'm going to be talking about tonight, and let me move this so you can see it really quick. All right. Tonight, we're going to be talking about triangular theory of love. Triangular theory of love. Okay. And then we're going to be talking about the love triangle. We're going to be talking about the theory of love as a story and the people's notions of love. Okay. So that's the three, the three, one, two, three, four main things that we're going to be hitting on tonight. And welcome again. I don't see any comments in there, but I'm going to be looking so I can acknowledge the viewers that are on tonight. Let's start out with the duplex theory of love, the triangular theory of love, and theory love as a story. Hey, Peaches, how you doing? So good to see you. And thank you. She's always so supportive. That's my sister, Peaches. All right. So the duplex theory of love, and let me change this PowerPoint so y'all can see it. The duplex theory of love integrates what previously were two separate theories. So it put them together, two separate theories, which is the triangular theory of love and then the theory love as a story. So they put them together and they just came up with one really, really good theory. Okay, so the triangular theory of love holds, it talks about that love can be understood in terms of three different components that together can be viewed as forming the vertices of a triangle. And so when I'm teaching, I always say triangle, especially when I'm teaching in a Christian sense. I say a triangle. So it's God, the husband, and the wife. You know, God, and that's the triangular theory that I always talk about. Good evening, Kim. How you doing, Kim? Good to see you. So the triangular theory of love is the three, that triangle. And it's used as a metaphor rather than a strict geometric model, which is what we know in a triangle to be, is geometry. So these three components are intimacy, passion, and decision/commitment. You know, there's some people, what we heard of down through the years, where they marry for convenience or they marry for business purposes and stuff like. So that's what that is talking about right there. But each component manifests a different aspect of love. Okay, and so hey, Leisha, how you doing? So this and people, everybody don't marry. Everybody doesn't desire to marry for the same thing. Love, some people, they do it for a business venture. Some people do it, you know, just for the time being. We've often heard people, which is still business, people who have married down through the years for to help, you know, to become a citizen here in the United States. And that's business, you know, and different things. So people marry for different reasons. Let's start out with intimacy in the marriage. That's the first thing in that triangle. And let me move my PowerPoint over so y'all can see it. Okay, I'm going to open this up just a little bit. All right, so intimacy. Now, let's hope that every marriage or every relationship has intimacy in it. That to me, that's important. It may not be important to other people, but to me, that's important. So intimacy refers to feelings of closeness, connectedness, and a bondness in loving relationships. It thus includes within its purview those feelings that give rise. You get a rise out of this stuff. You essentially to the experience of warmth in a loving relationship. So that's intimacy right there. Intimacy doesn't always correlate into having sex, but being intimate when you could just feel safe with the person that you're with. You can tell them your innermost secrets and don't worry about it. You know, you feel safe. That's intimate. You can just you know, during a sad time, you know, like when my mom passed a few years ago, it helped that my husband was available. He was not only available for me physically, but he was available there emotionally. When my mom died, you know, he never judged me about, because I had a lot of highs and lows going on. I was upset. I went through all stages. I was upset. I was disappointed. I was angry. I you know, was hurt. Felt sorrowful, and he just was there. To me, that was intimate. I needed that because regardless of anything, he just sat there and he understood while he was grieving as well, because my mom was like his mom too, you know. And so that is, intimacy is important to me. and it's probably important to a lot of people too. And feel free again to ask questions or give scenarios. Let's move on to number 2, passion. Passion refers to the drives that lead to romance. I'm going to say that again. Passion refers to the drives that lead to romance. Now, you don't have to be married. You don't even have to be in a relationship with somebody to have passion. But passion refers to the drive that leads to romance, physical attraction, sexual consummation, and related phenomenon in loving relationships. And passion is not always involved in a loving relationship. Can I get an amen? All right. Passion is passion. You can have passion for a superstar, you just be passionate like, oh Lord, I can't be around them, or don't even know them, but it just gets the blood boiling. Passion, okay? So the passion component includes within its purview those sources of motivational and other forms of arousal that leads to experience of passion in a loving relationship. Now, I like the way they talk about a loving relationship, because technically that is what we correlate passion with. But passion also comes in just forms of lust too. Like I said, in forms of lust. All right, so passion again refers to the drives that lead to romance. Some people have romances in their head. They have great imaginations, and they can visualize, and they can fantasize, and then they can dream some great passion and stuff, and never ever experience it physically. But passion goes beyond. I'm going to say passion goes beyond the physical. You can have passion and visual. Like I said, you have people who say, oh my gosh, like maybe a actor or somebody, oh, that's my fake husband. And they're just passionate about that person. And like I said, they can visualize, they can fantasize, they can dream about, ooh, that's my, or whatever. So passion, it goes beyond the physical. It really does. Let's move on to decision and commitment type of love. Decision and commitment type of love refers into the short term to the decision that one loves a certain other. And Alicia said that's true. Decision where the one loves a certain other, and in the long term to one's commitment to maintain that love. All right. So these two aspects of the decision/commitment type of love component does not necessarily go together. In that one decision to love somebody without being committed to the love in the long term, or can be committed to a relationship without acknowledging that one loves the other person in the relationship. Now, I'm a pause. I've heard in different cases, Kim said that I'm visualizing my husband. Yes, ma'am. If you can see it, you can believe it, you can feel it, you can manifest it. So continue to visualize your husband, and there's nothing wrong with that. Continue to visualize. I'm a Christian counselor, so Habakkuk 2 talks about write the vision and make it plain what you want. You're visualizing it, so you're writing it on the tablets in your mind. Go on, Peaches. Peaches said me too. Now that's my sister. That's my Peaches. That's my big sister. Y'all, Peaches could be married today, right now, if she wanted to. Peaches, I mean, when I say woo, she's so pretty. Peaches is so pretty, and she get attention everywhere she go. Okay, I understand. Peaches is on YouTube, guys. She's on YouTube. She says she knows what she asked God for. Now, that's a wise woman. Kim, I said, like you said, you're visualizing that. Just because you get a lot of attention, it don't mean that it's the right person for you. And she's a wise woman. My cousin Leisha, that's on here tonight. Leisha is a wise woman. I love her standards. Leisha's standard. Leisha's like, listen, I'm good. I'm good. And then if she wants to be with somebody else, she can. Leisha as well. She's like, I'm good. Peaches, I understand. Peaches says she know what she asked God for. And Kim, you continue to visualize your husband as well, because it's going to manifest. It's going to manifest. So I love that. Leisha said, yes, Lord. She said, yes, Lord. Okay. So back to the decision commitment type of love. It says it's a long-term thing, or it can be committed to a relationship without acknowledging that one loves the other person in the relationship. I have heard such beautiful love stories where people have waited. They have waited while the person that they've always loved, they may have married somebody else. And Peaches said, excuse me, Peaches, she's on YouTube, guys. She said, I know what I deserve. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's right. Yes, when you know what you deserve, you don't mind waiting until you get that. That's right. Or accept, or saying that I'm going to wait, like I said, until that one comes. That's right. That's right. You you know, going back to that non-commitment that I was talking about earlier. Yesterday, yes, I was talking about, it was the ludus type of thing. That was the non-commitment type of love. There are a lot of people that are in that right now, and they're settled for people that like may not, someone that they definitely don't deserve, but because it's just a filler. I'm gonna call it a filler. Philip. Kim B said, yes, ma'am, never settle. Kim said, never settle. But there are a lot of people out there that will settle for fillers. And what I mean by fillers, she said, we need a Zoom for this. Great conversation. And yes, we do. We can get a Zoom if you want. We can get a Zoom. If y'all want to continue this after the 30 minutes, I'll drop a Zoom link in here, and then we can continue on privately with just us if y'all choose to do that tonight. Uh-huh. And we can talk privately with a private session on Zoom if y'all would like. So let me know if that's what y'all like. I'm going to create something very quickly, and then I'll drop it in here, drop it in the feed. Um, and so yes, but let's go back to that. Some people, which is yesterday, I talked about the ludus type of love, which is really called a lust. It's not even considered a love. Ludus, Ludus. It's really considered a lust, and it's more about fillers. Just the Mr. Right Now or Mrs. Right Now, and it's all about having fun. It's all about just and I said it last night. You know that song. I just want to have a good night. I just want to have a good night. That's what that ludus type of thing is. I just want to have a good night. What is the apple bottom song? That's what that ludus is about. The filler. It's just a filler for now. Whatever, Mr. Right Now, Mrs. Right Now. Okay. But the decision and commitment maker, love is different. That's somebody that passionately loves someone or intensely loves someone, but they're willing to wait for them. Willing to wait for them to to be free, to be ready for them. That's what that's talking about. All right. So the three components of love, they do interact with one another. For example, they said for a greater intimacy, you may lead to greater passion or greater commitment, just as greater commitment may lead to greater intimacy, or with lesser likelihood, greater passion. In general, the components are separable, but interactive with each other. Okay. And so, although all three components are important parts of loving relationships, their importance may differ from one relationship to the other. Like I was saying earlier, what I need and what I want is different from what maybe Peaches need and what she wants, or from what Alicia or Kim needs. So again, this is what it's talking about. Love differs within relationships, and indeed different types of love or different kinds of love can be generated by limited cases of different combinations of these components. So the three components of love generate 8 possible kinds of love when considered in combinations. And it is important to realize that these kinds of love are, in fact, they call it limited cases. This is the researcher. No relationship is likely to be a pure case of any of them. So, out of the three, what I just talked about, the love, they all come with different type of combinations. Kim said, I agree. Leisha said, I think so. So So the geometry type of love, the love triangle, it depends on two factors: the amount of love and balance of love. The differences in amounts of love, which are represented by different areas of love, the love triangle. Okay, so differences in the balances of the three kinds of love are represented by different shapes of the triangle. Now I'm going to move this along. So love does not involve only a single triangle. They're breaking the triangle down. Okay, I'm going to move along. There's a theory of a love story, and I am going to skip over this because our time is really winding up. Let me see, do I have to? Okay, so the love triangle emanates from stories, is what they're saying. Almost all of us are exposed to large numbers of diverse stories that convey different conceptions of how love can be understood. We grew up in school. We grew up reading about Romeo and Juliet. So that was kind of a destructive type of love. You know, they loved each other. There was interference, all kinds of stuff like that. And in the end, one of them wound up dying, and then the other one killed himself because they lost the love of their life. Then you got the Hattifields and the McCormicks, the story that we read about, where they warred all the time because it was a another misunderstanding. They loved each other, and then they had a disagreement, and they broke up, and they started warring. In the end, they wound up getting back together anyway. And all them years later, okay, because it was a misunderstanding. Okay, but they did love each other. So some of these stories may be explicitly intended as love stories. Now, we also grew up reading about Cinderella, Snow White, different things like that, different versions of Cinderella. Oh, the prince got the glass slipper. All of this that's a beautiful type of love. Oh, it ended so beautifully. Snow White, it took her prince to bring her to life. Oh, to bring her to life. And once she's, okay, so that type of thing. But realistically, it takes a whole lot because we're always growing. We're always, as we get older, things change with us, and so our mindset changes, our attitude changes, but love lasts forever. I was talking last night when I was introducing the first part of this with the definition of love, and I said that this year, Dupree and I, my husband and I, will be married 30 years. September, it'll be 30 years. Has it been easy? No. Has it been times that I wanted to divorce him? More often yes than no. Okay, yes, in 30 years. But love covers a multitude, like the scripture says. It covers a multitude of things. When we should have been broke up, we have not. Okay, but love covers a multitude. Even when I didn't understand why, I still loved him. And and love covers even your lack of understanding. I'm like, well, this don't even make sense right now. Why am I still, I can't stand them, whatever. But why, and I'm just being candid, guys. I'm being candid, so, and I can tell you this because this is 30 years of marriage in the making. And I'm like, even now, it's not the best. Kim said, that's beautiful. We love you too, Kim. Even now, and my family's on tonight, so they can tell you things that they know, that they've witnessed and everything. And I'm like, wow. When I didn't understand the love still covered the multitude of everything and gave grace into the marriage, and gave forgiveness, and gave not acceptance but forgiveness, and gave a little bit more patience for one or the other, me or him, to just grow and say, you know what, that wasn't right. I wasn't right. And what, and then, but the patience, it brings patience in. And yes, communication. Peaches says communication. I'm going to say proper communication. Proper communication is everything. It's one of the things, and I can share it because I'm an open book. One of the things I've always said to my husband, I'm not a mind reader. People are not mind readers, so you're going to have to express what's in your head in order for me to understand what you're saying. You have to really express, give me detailed expressions of what you're trying to say, so I can have a better understanding of what you're saying. And same thing with me, I have to pause and say, you know what, right. And Peacher said learning to listen. You're absolutely right. Listening to, learning to listen. And so everybody is not a great communicator, but we can learn, just like we can learn to stop and pause and listen. We can learn to communicate and to convey what we're trying to express. So who we're in love with, who we're loving, who we're doing life with, who we're living with, that we can understand each other. And again, most importantly, grow together. It's important to grow. You have to grow, because one person can't grow and the other one doesn't, and stay stagnant. Everything in life, everybody in life grows and changes. And and so to understand that, to have the grace to grow together, that's important, with love, So I'm gonna let me move this over. Let's move to the different forms. Okay, so it says, although the number of possible stories is probably infinite, certain genres of stories seem to keep emerging again and again in like movies and stuff like that, in books and oral descriptions of relationships. Like right now, I am reading this ebook called The Marriage. Oh my God, where's my hold on, let me look. Guys, this story is crazy. Okay, let me open it up. It's called The Marriage Auction. The Marriage Auction. Oh my gosh. And you got to get it. Just look up The Marriage Auction. Oh my gosh. And to talk the different forms of relationships and love. It's like, woo! I love the author. She is, I mean, beautiful. And so it's just different relationships depicting different forms of love, how each other love each other and how they came together. And like I said, I can't give it away, but it's called The Marriage Auction. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for part 2. All right. Alicia said, I'm going to look that book up. Oh my gosh. Now with this book, it's like, it's the new form of books now. So you're going to have to buy it. You're going to spend some money. You're going to have to buy so many points, read it. And then when your points is up, you're going to have to buy some more points. But trust me, I think I done spent $100 already. But I didn't read over 100 chapters. And so it just keep, you buy it in increments. I $10 here, $10 here, but it's worth it. It's called The Marriage Auction. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for part 2 to come out. But I love how it depicts the different relationships and the different ways that people have come together and loved each other. But the foundation of the story is they fell in love. And through good, bad, and indifferent, they fell in love, and they realized this is my better half. This is it, and it's amazing. So it says, because the stories that we've analyzed were from participants, wherever, all over the world, it is likely to show some degree of cultural bias. They're talking about love, which it is. We're Americans. We live in the United States. So our way of loving is different from someone who lives in Asia or lives in Africa. They marry and they love differently. It's a little differently, but the core foundation is love. People who are not from America, when they say they in it, and that's it. It's not, I will never leave. We ain't never getting out of it. With whatever, we in it until we die. And that's people that live in other cultures and stuff like that. We are a little freer here. We're like, I'm not gonna live in this mess. I'm not living in hell. So, that's our right. That is our right. We don't have to. We don't have to. But what this is saying, what the researchers are saying here is that a lot of times where you are, that's how you base love, how you love people. Okay, even like how we grew up, what we've seen with our parents or our parents, depending on if you was raised. I was raised in a single parent home. I know my cousin Leisha was raised in a single parent home. And so what we saw, I had to learn how to love my husband, because I didn't see. Unfortunately, my father died when I was a child. So I never saw my mom married to somebody when I was growing up. So I didn't have that foundation. So it was really a learning experience for me when I got married. And my husband, he had to learn some different things. He grew up in a two-parent home, but he had to learn that what he saw in his home wasn't necessarily was something that he was going to bring over to our home either, because he couldn't bring that form of love to me and think it was going to fly. It was going to be all right. So, it is what it is. Everything is a cultural thing. It's cultural. So it says the stories that have been found to be particularly useful in conceptualizing people's notions of love are, and let's move to this. I'm going to open this up really quickly because our time really has moved. Let me open this really quick and I'm going to go through this fast. Number one, addiction, love addiction. Strong, anxious attachments, clinging behavior, anxiety at thoughts of losing a partner. That's a love addiction. Number two is a love art, an art of love. A love of a partner for physical attractiveness, importance to persons or partners, always looking good. We know them as trophy wives and husbands. That's what this is, the art, the love art, or the art of love. The trophy wives and the trophy husbands. Number three is business type of love. Relationships as business propositions. Money is the power. Partners in close relationships as business partners. Now, again, I talked about that earlier, how some people, they marry for business purposes because their social economical status is exactly what they want, and so they'll marry for that, for money. Okay. Kim says, I think my expectations are too high because I see my parents' love. No, your expectations aren't too high. No, they're not either. Actually, you have a great foundation because I've seen your parents' love. Okay, and trust me, that's something that you want to achieve. Is that long lasting, and they still passionate. And to see, Kim's parents are a little bit, her father's in his 70s, and her mom, I don't think Aunt Joan is in her 70s, but I could be wrong. But they look good. They still strong and they still love each other. No, ma'am, your expectations are not too high. That's exactly what you're to look for. That's so you bring everything good, Kim. Bring everything good that you've seen from with your parents and bring it into your relationship, and then build from there. Like my husband and I have taught our grown folk when they were living with us and growing up. You take everything good and positive from our home, bring it into your home when y'all move out, and then build from there. That's what you do, Kim. No, your expectations are not too high. As a matter of fact, you've got a great foundation. And that's something to be very, very proud of. Okay. So number four is the collection type of love. Partners are viewed as fitting in. Like I said, the right now, the right now type of relationship. To some overall scheme, the partner is viewed in a detached type of way, like, oh yeah, like a piece of clothing, accessory, like an accessory. That's what this is here, the collection type of love. Peaches said she agrees. Number five is the cookbook type of love, doing things a certain way with a certain recipe. The results in the relationships are being more likely to work out. Departure from recipes for success leads to increased likelihood of failure. So the people that have their book notes and stuff on a relationship, and if it don't check off, then it's not gonna work. Like there's a movie Oh my God, Adam Sandler. No, I'm sorry, not Adam Sandler's movie. Shallow Hal. There's a movie, an old movie called Shallow Hal, and they had their little checklist of the type of women that they should be with, and he never, ever, ever had a relationship because of his checklist. Him and his friend, but when he got hypnotized and got out of that checklist, then he had all kinds of relationships. Fell in love with the opposite type of woman that he thought he wanted, but it was true love. And when that hypnosis or when he that hypnotized or whatever was offered him, he had to make a decision. He went and found that woman that he loved. He didn't care. He said, I don't care what she looked like or whatever. I love her. Went after her and had a happy life. So that's that cookbook, the recipe type thing. That recipe type thing will lead you wrong almost every single time. Number 6 is the fantasy type of love. Okay. Often experts to be saved by a knight in shining armor or to marry a princess and live happily ever after. That's a fantasy. That is trust me, it's a fantasy. Everybody comes with flaws. The thing is, we have to work on the flaws and grow and build. But it's always going to be something that may happen. But you know what? As long as you're working towards bettering yourself, it's going to work out. It's going to, okay? Then you have the game type of love. That's number 7. Love is a game or a sport. Oh, I gotta have that person. I gotta have that person. I gotta have that person. That's, you don't even know why, but I gotta have that person. That's that love is a game. Then number 8 is love is a gardening. Relationships need to be continually nurtured and tended to. In a way, that is a part of that trilogy and that triangle. Every relationship. I don't care if it's between your mama and you, your daddy and you, your children and you. Every relationship needs to continual nurturing. It really does. You have to continue to work on the relationships because people change, situations happen. And so if the people are important to you in your life, and if they're not toxic and they're not tearing you down, I'm going to say work towards building those relationships. Okay. Number 9, government type of love, an autocratic. One partner dominates or even controls the other person. The democratic type, 2 partners who equally share power. Okay, so that's the government. It's either one, the autocratic or the democratic type of love. Mostly, out of these 2, the healthier type of love is the democratic, where 2 parties equally share love, the responsibilities, whatever they call it, the power. Number 10, history. The history type of love, where events of relationships form an inedible record, keeping a lot of records, mental and physical. Yep, that's been me, and that's not good. I have a long memory, and that is, I can tell you from experience. Okay, I'm an open book. That's me, a historic type of love. I can remember. I will bring it back, and it's not good. I will bring it up, and a lot of times when people do that, it's because that hurt is still so dominant, but it's not good. Not good for the person, and not good for the person you with. And I'm an open book. I'm honest. So that historic type of love, events of relationships forming an edible record, keeping a record of things, mental, physical, that is not healthy in any type of relationship. That's not. So number 11 is the horror type of love, where the relationship becomes interesting when you terrorize or are terrorized by your partner. Oh my gosh, that is horrible. In other words, you're in an abusive relationship. Okay? Nobody. Peaches laugh. No, Peaches laughing. I told you I'm an open book. And we're going to talk about love. So we're going to talk for real this month. We're going to open it up. But a horror type of relationship, that's an abusive relationship. Get away from that relationship. Run as fast as you can. That is not good for anybody, not for the male or the female. Get out of that horror relationship. Abusive, no, mentally, physically, emotionally, get out of it. Get out of it. It is not healthy, it's toxic, and it's not good, and it's only going to keep getting worse. Run as fast as you can. That's number 11. Number 12 is the house and the home type of loving relationship. Relationships have their core in the home through its development and its maintenance. So that's the house and home type of love. Number 13 is the humorous type of love, where love is strange and funny. Okay, that's all it said. That's all they said. Where love is strange and funny. Okay, so number 14 is the mystery type of love. Love is a mystery, and you shouldn't let too much of yourself be known. I think it depends on the type of relationship you're in. If you're married, love shouldn't be a mystery. If you're just getting into a relationship with somebody, you don't have to tell it all. Don't tell it all, But when you're in a long term, when you're married, no, that's no. So the mystery type of love is for something that's newer. You're getting to know the person, that type of thing. The police type of love is number 15. So you've got to keep close tabs on your partner to make him or her their toes are in line, and you need to be under surveillance to make sure that you behave. That's a non-trusting relationship. That police type of relationship, that's not good. Nobody have time and energy for that. Oh my gosh, constantly under surveillance. You just don't trust them. Why are you there? Okay, that's the question you should constantly ask yourself. Why am I here? Why am I going? Why? If you can't trust them, y'all don't need to be together. That's just the bottom line. You don't need to be with them if you can't trust them. Okay, that's a friend, anybody. Okay, number 16, the pornography type of love. Love is dirty, and to love is to degrade or to be degraded. Wow. Does anybody have anything to say about that type of love? Because I'm gonna leave my opinions to myself. Kim said I can't do that one. Peaches said, run again. Look, does anybody want to say anything about the pornography type of love? That's number 16. Love is dirty, and to love is to be degraded or to degrade someone. Anybody? If not, we'll move it along. I have my opinions on that. But if that is, I can't do that one. Kim's Peaches said, run again. Well, that's number 16. The pornography type of love, where you are degraded, or you're degraded, or you degrade someone else. Alicia said, not at all. That's crazy. Yeah. And then if you know what, if seriously, if that's the only way that they feel like that they can love or they can be loved, and I'm being serious here. I do strongly encourage you go speak to a counselor, because you need to better understand why is that such a comfortable place for you. In order to love someone, you have to degrade somebody, or in order to love someone, they need to degrade you. And with love, there are some disappointments that come when you're because we're all human. There are some disappointments that we experience. Peaches said you have to be adventurous. Adventurous that's different than this. I say yes, be adventurous with yes. Yeah, definitely. Not to be degrading. Exactly. Peaches said not degrading, but adventurous. Right. Now, those are two different things when it comes to love. Those are two separate things. Adventurous is actually, I think it's fun, it's healthy. But degrading, again, now that's abuse. Now we're moving into toxic type of behavior. That's abuse. And it's not it's not healthy. So if that is something if that's a comfortable place for somebody, that pornography type of love where you have to be degraded or you degrade someone, I strongly encourage you to go speak to a therapist just to find out the root cause of why this is something that turns you on. Okay, so let's move on to number 17. Kim said, Alicia said, not at all. Kim said, you need to respect me. I believe that we all feel that way, Kim. Yeah, to love me, you have to respect me. And same thing, I have to be able to respect you. Exactly. Number 17 is a recovery type of love. So survivor mentality, view that after past traumas. So persons can get through practically anything. A recovery type of love. I'm gonna say that again: a survivor mentality. They call that a survivor mentality, and it views at that after past traumas. Now, there are a lot of people that do get into relationships right away after a trauma, after a death, after an accident, maybe of an accident that they occurred, something like that, and then the person saves them. They feel like that the person came in and saved them, and so they get into a relationship that way. So they call that the recovery type of love. Number 18 is a religious type of love, where either views love as a religion or love as a set of feelings and activities that's dictated by religion. Because I'm a Christian, I take a lot of my foundation from the Bible, about how to love, not only my spouse but my family, and how to love other people. And so I don't I don't consider my love as a religion, but I do take foundation. I do take a lot of ethics and a lot of good character traits from the Bible, how to love people. So that's number 18, a religious type of love. Number 19 is a sacrifice type of love. And that says to love is to give of oneself, or for someone to give of him or herself to you. Okay. Well, that's a deep relationship anyway. When you love somebody, you love them enough to even change your negative ways. That's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice, but it's gonna benefit both of you. So I think that a deep type of love, we all experience the sacrificial type of love. Number 20 is the scientific type of love, where love can be understood, it could be analyzed and dissected, just like any other natural phenomenon. I agree and I don't agree, because love it's still a mystery to it. Y'all can give me your views on that. Is still a mystery. Again, I shared earlier, like at times in my marriage, I was like, I don't even understand why I'm still here, because it don't make no sense. It's not making sense. But love covers a multitude, even your mentality. Like, it really don't make sense. Why am I still here? Why am I still dealing with this? Or dealing with you? But we get mad and we say dealing with this and stuff. And a lot of times we just so puffed up to, we're not really looking at seeing the whole thing. So love is a science. It can be dissected and then it can't be. Number 21, again, what is your opinion on that? Number 21, love is a science fiction, where feeling that partner is like an alien, incomprehensible and very and very strange. Well, I think we all have felt that way too, where love is a science fiction. And if you're feeling that the partner is like an alien, that they're incomprehensible, okay, and they're very strange. Okay, I think we've all experienced that. Number 22, love is like sewing. Love is like sewing. Love is whatever you make it. Okay. And number 23 is love is like a theater. Love is scripted with predictable acts, scenes, and lines. I hope not, because that's going to make your relationship boring. I sure hope not. Love is like a theater. If it's scripted, it's predictable acts, scenes, and lines. That's a boring relationship. Okay, number 24. Love is like it's like traveling. Love is a journey. That's very true. Number 25 is love is war. Love is a series of battles in a devastating but continuing war. Wow, that's a way to think about it. Y'all can give me your views on that. If love is war, that's too exhausting. I don't want to be warring for years. That's exhausting. Number 26 is love, the student and the teacher. Love is a relationship between a student and a teacher. That's exhausting. It should not always be that way. But y'all can give me your views on that too. One may know more about something in one area than the other one. So I guess it's just the way you perceive things. I'm not really technically savvy when it comes to computers. My husband is. Kim said, I don't have time for war. I don't either. I don't either. That's just too much energy in the wrong direction. Okay, that's toxic. That warring all the time. But where it says student teacher love, well, I guess in a way, like again, I was saying earlier that I'm not very good when it comes to computer technology. So my husband, he actually shows me stuff constantly when it comes to computers. If there's something I don't understand, so that's the student teacher type thing, I guess. So so I guess it's just the way you perceive it. So this has been week one. We have ran over. My God, did we run over? But I will be on week two, part one, and on a whole different subtopic next Sunday night and Monday. And so I'm gonna move this on. I want to leave y'all with oh boy, that's my takeaway. Okay, so let me show it to you. The takeaway says if you ever want to love someone, love yourself unconditionally first. Okay, you're always with yourself, so you might as well enjoy the company. You have to grow, you have to love yourself unconditionally. The absence of love, of self-love, can never be replaced with the presence of people's love for you. And this is by goodhousekeeping.com. That was the takeaway that said that. Kim said, where do you get that slide from? I need it. Which slide? Kim, which slide? Because I can send it to you. I'll send it to you. What the slide that you want. Peaches said, awesome. Kim, text me which slide, and then I can get it to you that way. Now the quote that I wanted to leave y'all with. Oh, let me go back. There's a new song that's out. Notions of Love. Notions of Love. Oh, okay. Let me go back. Notions of Love. Oh, okay. I'll send that to you, Kim. I'll send you Notions of Love. I'll do that. All right. Text me your email, Kim, and then I'll send it to you. The Notions of Love. The quote that I wanted to leave y'all with. Oh, before that, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked again. There's a new song out by Billy Ray Cyrus' daughter. What's Kylie Cyrus? I can buy myself flowers. The whole thing is I can love myself better than you can. That's her song. I can love me better than you can. It's a good song. It's a really good song, and I said right on time with this. Now the quote that I wanted to leave y'all with, it says, let me open this up very quickly. All right. This is by Rupi Kaur. And they say, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. I'm going to say that again. That's what I want to leave y'all with. How you love yourself is how you teach other people to love you. And so, and remember, we're always changing. We're always growing. We're always evolving. We're always evolving. So as we grow, and so we continue to teach people how to love us when they see how we love ourselves. When I was 20, I wasn't as secure in myself as I am now, but that was over 30 years ago. So when I was 20, I acted like I was a 20-year-old. But when you're 50, I evolved. I grew. So now in my 50s, I definitely have learned how to love myself differently and better than when I was in my 20s. And I continue to teach people even now how to love me. Hey, man, that's so good to see you. How to love me, and if they don't, then that's all right too. We ain't got to be all, like that close and whatever. You pick and choose. That's fine. But I also try to love people the same way I love myself. And those that are connected to me, they know I try to love people genuinely and honestly. I really do. And so, okay, so here we go. I will see y'all on Sunday. This is my where I got my sessions from tonight for those fellow counselors. That's where I got it from. I want to thank y'all. We're gonna move past this stuff. We're gonna move past it. I am a professional one-on-one counselor. Y'all can inbox me at Shanrae Owens on my Facebook if you want a private session. If y'all are interested in us to want to do a Zoom afterwards, maybe next week or something like that, let me know. I will going to create a Zoom link and we will log off here and we'll do private session for about another 30 minutes or 40 minutes if that's what y'all want. All righty then. So I will see y'all next Sunday and this coming Sunday and Monday for week 2 and a whole different subtopic. This has been Shanrae, Counsel Today with Shanrae. This month I'll be talking about love with different subtopics, and we're gonna throw in a little Black history with it as well. Y'all have a good night. Good night. Bye guys. Good night.